your left.
Before we begin, we would like to gratefully acknowledge that we work, live and play on the unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples, including the territories of the Musqueam, Squamish and Tsleil-Waututh nations. We now ask that you please rise if you're able and remove your hats for the national anthem.
The sun is out, the sky is blue, and welcome to some midweek League 1 BC soccer action. It's Women's Division taking the centre stage first here at Kinsman Field this afternoon, and it's a beautiful day in the North Shore in North Vancouver for the beautiful game. I'm your match commentator, Michael McCall, and I'll have the call all afternoon for the two League 1 BC games between Altitude from North Vancouver and Harbourside from Nanaimo. As I mentioned, the women's teams are up first, and we'll get into the starting lineups for both the sides just right off the bat. For the home team, Altitude, led for the third year by head coach Fally Bass. In goal, number 50, Ava Jones. The rest we'll give you in numerical order. Number 3, Alana Dulong. Number 4, Lauren Gray. Number 12, Emilio Russo. Number 15, Avery Tulloch. Number 16, Kiana Langston. Number 17, Maya Smith. Number 20, Jade Mitchell. Number 21, Alex Paul. Number 32, Sophie Hill. And number 38, Trinity Chow. For Harbourside, visiting from Nanaimo and led by head coach Bobby Taylor. In goal for them is number 1, Caden Thorpe. Number 3, Shea Batty. Number 5, Rebecca Van Dort. Number 6, Taya Scorey. Number 7, Taylor Kinley. Number 10, Ruby Nicholas. Number 13, Mary Nichols. Number 17, Erin Jensen. Number 19, Jasmine Wilkinson. Number 20, Kate Reynolds. And number 21, a player that will be very well known to this Altitude side. She played for them in the first 2 years in the league, Tanis McKay. This should be a fascinating matchup between these two teams. Harbourside, strong start to the season so far, but they have never beat Altitude in League 1 play. The two meetings last year on May 28th here at Kinsman Field, Altitude ran out the 1-0 winners. Altitude then went over to Nanaimo in the last game of the regular season and came away with a big 5-0 victory that day. Harbourside is a very similar team to what they had last year. 16 returning players with 3 very strong additions from Victoria Highlanders, who sadly folded in the off-season. And it's going to be Harbourside that get the action underway in this one, wearing the white jerseys with the blue shorts and white socks. And they will be playing right to left up the hill at Kinsman Field to get the action underway. Altitude in their all sky blue kits with the white numbers, going from left to right in this first half. Referee for this one, Stephen Lebrechthausen. First assistant referee, Marcus Petinano. Second assistant referee, Young Bahadur Kandola. And the fourth official for this one, Louise Reid. Nanaimo making the long trip over the Salo Sea for this one as the action underway here at Kinsman Field. Rare Wednesday afternoon action. If you're wondering why the early start, for two prime reasons. One, to allow for better travel on the ferries for Harbourside, but also no floodlights here at Kinsman Field, so the game has to be finished before the sun sets. And there was a couple of games last year where it was a little bit touch and go as the time got added on, whether they would be finishing in light or not, but thankfully everything was well underway. On the ball, Jade Mitchell on the far side. It's picked off though by Harbourside, and they're going up the right wing here. Erin Jensen has got a chance to send the ball in, gets it the second attempt. Good defending there by Altitude, and the ball is going to run out for a throw-in on the far side. It's going to be Tanis McKay, the former Altitude player, over to take this one. Made 11 appearances for Altitude in the 2023 League 1BC season. She plays her college football over on the island with the UVic Vikes, staying on the island this summer and making switch to Harbourside for the 2024 campaign. It's going to be a free kick now for Altitude to send this one high. It's brought down by Trinity Chow, but again given away and picked up by Harbourside, and they'll move it along the back line and come out here to the left. Through ball there, asking a lot of Ruby Nicholas to try and chase down Alana DeLong over to deal with this. Looks like both teams lining up before at the back to start this one off. As Harbourside with Rebecca Van Dort, a great addition in the off-season for Altitude. The Kiwi has League One experience out in Ontario with Electric City. And Kate Reynolds now will give the first touch of the game to Caden Thorpe. She gets a big boot on it, plays it up the field to Nicholas. No room for Harbourside to get much going, and forced back there by Kinley. And good press and play there, forcing Nichols to play that back, and Altitude still keeping the press on here, trying to force a mistake from Harbourside. Altitude win the ball back. Amelia Russo just takes too much of a touch on that. He gets away from her, but they get it back now with Maya Smith. Back to Russo. She tries to get that pass inside, but it's well cut out by Harbourside. Now Jasmine Wilkinson has a chance to break for the Nanaimo side. That's a great ball out, looking to try and play in Ruby Nicholas, but Alana DeLong, as she has done so much for Altitude in her first 2 years in the league, sniffing out that danger and putting that ball into touch. 22 games under her belt for Altitude has DeLong now. She is closing down there on Wilkinson. Now she's having to close down on Nicholas. Nicholas finding room to get the cross in. It's headed clear though by Lauren Gray. Only as far though as Scorey at the edge of the box. One of the three Highlanders players that Bobby Taylor has added to her side for this season. And Altitude try to clear it, not very well, and it comes to Wilkinson at the edge of the box. Wilkinson tries the neat little pass inside there, but again snuffed out, and first to that one where Altitude, now they're going to get a chance to break. Maya Smith sending that out, trying to play in Avery Tulloch. And Altitude trying to keep the pressure on here with Trinity Chow. With the new additions to this Altitude side, there's around a dozen returnees for Altitude. There's a Harbourside player down and looking over to her bench in a little bit of pain in the hip area. Altitude undeterred by that, just trying to get some attacks going here. And that's a long ball forward from Sophie Hill, and that's just going to run out for a throw-in about midway in their own half for the Islanders. Wilkinson now. Impressed me in her debut season in League 1 BC for Harbourside last year. Altitude keeping the pressure on now. Twisting, turning on, trying to make some room for herself is Amelia Russo, but it's taken off her feet. That's a loose one there from Wilkinson. Commentator's curse. Singing her praises for her performances last year and just getting that one taken off her foot. Avery Tullett now making room to send that one to the edge of the box, but Harbourside break it up. A lot of misplaced passes in the early going here for both sides. Strong play there from Kiana Langston, but a little bit too strong in the eyes of the referee, and that's going to give Harbourside a free kick. They're quick to get on with it as well as Wilkinson now. And a missed kick there, and this is going to allow Erin Jensen to try and get something going here. She's got options either side of her. Plays it out to McKay. She sends a low one into the box, and that's the first save of the afternoon for Altitude goalkeeper Ava Jones. Second season with Altitude, Ava Jones. Altitude starting keeper Sarah Lewin moving on this past off-season, now playing with new club Burnaby FC in League 1 BC, giving Ava Jones the chance to start for the North Shore side, and she made 3 appearances last year for Altitude in League 1 and was very impressive. Just 1 goal given up, 2 clean sheets. She's had the first save to make in anger this afternoon as Harbourside trying to keep the pressure on with Shea Batty, and Batty bundled over there, and that's going to give Harbourside a dangerous free kick about just over 20 yards from goal here. Looks like it's going to be the captain, Mary Nichols, that's going to send this one into the box. Sending bodies into the box as well, Rebecca Van Dort, one of the more senior players on this Harbourside team. First chance for some set piece play for Harbourside here. And it's taken short. Tried to get played back there to Nichols, but it's broken up by Altitude, and they're going to break quickly here. And again, another loose ball given away, and Harbourside immediately pouncing that, only for themselves to give it up here. Sloppy in the early going here as Taylor Kinley tries to bring this one down. Sends a lovely ball out wide now to Jensen. Jensen sends a dangerous ball in. It eludes Wilkinson, runs all the way through to the back post. And that's great play by Trinity Chow to close down Harbourside there. Again, not fully clear, it just comes to Van Dort. Now Ruby Nicholas trying to dance her way through, but an Altitude boot sends that one up the field. But Harbourside will get another chance to launch something, and they're going to try now on the far side with Mary Nichols. Nicholas now plays this one forward for Wilkinson to chase. She's got time ahead of her. Lauren Gray ahead of her as well. Wilkinson goes to the post, plays into the box, turns, and the first shot, and it just runs behind there. That's a great chance there for Erin Jensen. She's going to feel that she should have put that one away, but then the flag up quickly on the far side, and it's going to be a goal kick coming up now for Altitude. But the first real chance of the game there fallen to Erin Jensen in the 11th minute. What can Altitude do in return? A little give and go there for Langston to try and chase down, and she's got the beating there of Reynolds. Hits the byline, cuts it back, but again snuffed out and put into touch by Harbourside. DeLong over for the throw in here. Maya Smith trying to bring that one down, just runs over the byline by the looks of it. It's going to be out for a goal kick to Harbourside. Got a slight blocked view down in the right hand corner. Can't really see the corner flag, so it's actually going to be a free kick coming up here for Harbourside. Different broadcast point for the game today if you've watched any of Altitude's games over the first 2 years. Trying something a little bit different on the other stand, as Harbourside now breaking forward up the right. Dangerous ball into the middle. Didn't really have the direction for Wilkinson to run onto, and Ava Jones easily collects that one. Takes her time, calms things down, and looks to send this one up into the Harbourside half. 2 years with the York Lions, Ava Jones, 28 games played, 13 of them starts. Got the start at the 2022 U Sport Nationals as a rookie as well. As Harbourside seem to be the team that's breaking a lot of these chances up in the early going. Little bit scrappy in the start to this game. It is only Altitude's second game of the season. A battling 2-2 draw on the opening weekend out in Kamloops against Rivers. Trailed 2-0 at half time. 2 goals in about a 3-4 minute spell for Altitude. Saw them earn a point in that one, in a game very much dictated by the wind. The team with the wind at the back getting the 2 goals in each half. As Altitude now coming forward with Maya Smith, trying to get the better of Rebecca Van Dort, but the veteran gets her foot in and plays that out into touch. Van Dort comes from a sporting family. Van Dort and her father, the only father-daughter combination to win an NPL Grand Final in New Zealand soccer. Van Dort doing that when she captained Eastern Suburbs to their 2018 success. As that's a long ball forward, asking a lot of Wilkinson. Jones very far out of her goal, decided to take a touch and was getting closed down by Wilkinson there, but a cool head from Jones, and now Altitude will try and get something going here. Nice through ball here for Kiana Langston to try and chase down, but dealt with by the Harbourside defence. Langston coming off her rookie season with the Fraser Valley Cascades. Started all 15 games, scoring 4 goals and adding an assist for UFV. Certainly knows the way to the back of the net. It's now Smith. Hits the byline. Closed down again though by Van Dort. Altitude pick up the loose ball. Tulloch. One of the goal scorers in that opening weekend match for Altitude. Alex Paul the other. Lauren Gray and Ava Temple getting assists in that game. Harborside went down to a 1-0 defeat in their opening match of the 2024 League 1BC season. 3-1 loss at New Girls Burnaby FC. 2 scorers so far this year for them, Erin Jensen and Jasmine Wilkinson. Wilkinson getting on the score sheet in a 1-0 draw in Saturday's game in Nanaimo. And Harborside is going to get the first corner of the match here in the 16th minute. You can see a bit of a swirling at the corner flag. Can Harborside make full use of that? That's a good delivery. It's over the head of Jones, and Wilkinson tried to get her head of it, head in her hands there. But Altitude's now got a chance to break. They need some more numbers up here to help Maya Smith. She plays it outside though to Tulloch. First time shot or hit there by Tulloch, and just didn't really get the power on it. And as she tries to get the loose ball, she does get at the second attempt. As the giveaways and turnovers continue here at Kinsman Field. It's a bumpy pitch. If you've not watched games here or seen the pitch in person, it is on a little bit of a slope. Right now, Altitude are playing down the slope in this first half. Can be bumpy, but looks in pretty good condition. For a lot of these Altitude players, it is going to be the first time they've played a competitive game on the pitch, and they will have to get used to some of the weird bounces that you do find on it. Harborside, as I mentioned at the start, yet to score against Altitude in League 1BC play. Yet to get a point against them as well. Altitude very dominant last year in the meetings between the two teams. Both teams heading into this one on 1 point this season. Altitude sitting 4th in the standings. As a heavy challenge there goes against Kiana Langston. I didn't see who it was that went down in the heap there, but the referee calling on the trainer for Harborside. That'll give me a chance to let you know Altitude 4th in the League 1BC standings so far with that 1 point. Harborside 1 spot beneath them in 5th with a point from their 2 games. Both teams have played Rivers so far this year, both of them coming away with draws. Does that set up a draw for this afternoon, or are things just not as easy as that? Last year, Altitude very solid defensively, 5 clean sheets in their 14 matches, but they were kept off the score sheet 4 times, as were Harborside. Harborside though only managing to keep 1 clean sheet and going down to a couple of big heavy defeats as well against the Whitecaps and Varsity. Shea Batty is up none the worse for wear after that challenge from Langston. And Harborside will have a free kick just inside the Altitude half here. And it's played out to the captain, Nichols. Long ball forward there by Reynolds, but it's won back immediately by Altitude. Hot conditions out there today, between 16 and 18 expected temperature for this afternoon, and a glorious sunny day, not a cloud in the North Shore sky. That will start to drain these players as the game goes on. Altitude still getting their roster together as well. Not all their players are here yet, and they do have a short-handed bench today. Just 6 subs for Altitude. Harborside bringing the full contingent of 7 over from the island. So that throw-in goes up the right wing, looking for Jensen. She does well to win her side. A throw-in pretty much right at the corner flag here. Wind dropped a little bit from the last corner. Second chance now for Harborside from the corner. It's a good delivery first time round. It's a good delivery this time again to the back post as it runs through to Mary Nichols, and she can't fully connect in that and seemed to twist her leg a little bit in the turf as she went down there, and looks in a little bit of discomfort behind the Altitude goal. The trainer is getting called down right away, and this would be a big, big blow for Harborside if anything has happened to Nichols here. The captain off the side. 12 games for Harborside in their inaugural season last year, having played for the Highlanders in 2022. 3 games under her belt for UBC Thunderbirds this past college season, as well as the Thunderbirds claimed gold at the U Sport Nationals. And Nichols does look in a lot of pain. We'll keep you updated on that one, as Harborside look like they might have to go to their bench here. For now though, it's McKay over with the throw, and she sends that up for Wilkinson. She's got room ahead of her to try and get something happening. Tries to poke that one past, and it takes a touch of the Altitude player, and it's out for a third corner now of the afternoon as the midway point of the first half approaches here. And Ruby Nicholas is going to be over again to take this one on set piece duty. She's sent 2 fantastic deliveries in from the corners so far, as further attention coming to check on their captain Mary Nichols, who is off the pitch just to the left of the goal. Nicholas now though goes for a low one, doesn't get the direction on it, and just hits that one into the side netting, and Altitude will breathe a sigh of relief here. If you're just tuning in so far, only 1 real shot in anger, 1 save that's been made so far, and Ava Jones was the keeper that had to do that. It's been a little bit of a slow-paced game. A lot of mistakes in the early going. Someone needs to have a little bit of magic to kind of start working on this. As Gray now plays it to DeLong. She'll give it back to the centre back, as Altitude will recycle it now out of the back, and a chance here for Amelia Russo. Another through ball not finding its intended target. But now Russo gets a chance to win it back. Smith with a touch inside, looking to try and play in Tulloch, but Tyaskori had to be strong there as the pressure kept on there from Altitude, and it's blasted over the bar. First look on goal for Altitude, 25 minutes in, not on target. And Harborside are making a substitution here. Coming on is Maya Creed, the number 11. She is going to come on for captain Mary Nichols, who's still getting treatment off to the side of the Altitude goal. Altitude now pushing Maya Smith. She's got room Gets past one, sends a dangerous ball into the middle. First touch lets Langston down though, and Langston now tries to bring that clearance down, as did Russo, but it's Harbourside that's going to come away with it now with Jensen. Jensen showing great tenacity there to win a throw-in for her side, bouncing off Amelia Russo. And McKay now with a long throw up the right wing, looking for Kinley to try and chase that one down, and again an altitude boot gets on that and it's out for a throw, and they're slowly working their way up the sideline here. If it was rugby they'd be going for touch. McKay sends that one forward looking for Wilkinson. McKay gets it back, little chip over, looking to try and play in Jensen. Harbourside keeping the pressure on here as Altitude failing to clear the danger. Batty plays this one out to McKay. And Jade Mitchell importantly over there to get a foot in the ball and knock that one out. Jade Mitchell, the youngest player on the team last year for Altitude. Very much a star in the making. As no one can bring this ball down, a shot comes in, it ricochets off Russo, and Jensen tries a shot come across there, but it's easily dealt with by Ava Jones, and the Altitude goal. Harbourside now, Taya Scorey. They're moving the ball around better than Altitude, you have to say, in the first half of the first half here. Thank you for joining us this afternoon on the League 1 BC YouTube channel. This is Games of the Week on League 1 BC for this week. The men's match coming up at 6 o'clock. As Wilkinson putting pressure there on Russo, who just has to get a foot on it and touch that one out. And Van Dort is going to take this one deep in the Altitude half. Lovely turn there from Nicholas, who plays it into Wilkinson. Touched her outside, tries to get the shot off, but the sting taken off that one is a high looping one. Well dealt with though by Jones. Now Altitude will quickly get on with it, try and bring this up the left wing. That's a long ball forward, more in hope I think than expectation that Avery Tillich was going to try and chase that one down. And easily gathered by Caden Thorpe, who hasn't had a lot to do in the Harbourside goal in the early going here. Her second season in League 1 BC, made 4 appearances for Harbourside last year. Giving up 17 goals though in those 4 games, as the Harbourside defence was put under the cosh in several of those matches. Just 2 years under her belt as well with the VIU Mariners. 6 appearances for them, and looks like she might be the starting keeper. The first choice starting keeper at least for Harbourside. She started the first 3 games so far, as Maya Smith now tries to poke that one through, and Thorpe out quickly off her line to smother the danger. League 1 BC would like to acknowledge the following league partners: CIBC, Gatorade, the Cruyff Institute, Derby Star, Macron, Vibrant Performance, the Canadian Premier League, One Soccer and BC Soccer. Smith now plays that forward. As always, if you want to get in touch with us during the broadcast, you can do so by leaving a comment on the YouTube stream. Don't have internet here at the stadium today, so I'll only be able to kind of check that on my phone at half time if you want to leave any messages. As this ball comes through to Erin Jensen, she cuts it back to the edge of the box. It's snuffed out by Russo. Her clearance so only as far as Nicholas, who sends one in, and that's not really going to trouble Ava Jones. So if you want to leave any comments in the YouTube chat, we'd love to hear from you during the game. If you want to talk about the match, either of these two teams, or the League 1 BC season, or you can get in touch with me on Twitter at AFTN Canada, and that will probably be the easier way for me to get your messages during this one. Might try and do a little bit of tethering at half time onto the laptop to see if I can get that one fired up. But we are still scoreless here at Kinsman Field in North Vancouver, just past the half-hour mark in League 1 BC Women's Division action. As Harborside, the better of the two teams, have another chance here with Ruby Nicholas trying to make room for the shot. Russo does well to close it down. It's bouncing about. Jensen can get it out of her feet. And I thought Jones was going to collect that, but in the end, Lauren Gray decides to bring this one out. Plays it up to Smith. She sends that one up the right wing for Langston to try and chase down. Now Langston pounces on that loose ball. She's got the attention here of Reynolds. Good shoulder-to-shoulder challenge there from Kate Reynolds. Langston plays it back looking for Smith. The danger snuffed out by Taylor Kinley. Gray pounces on the clearance, sends a good ball forward, but no Altitude players making a move to try and get on the end of that one. That's just going to run behind Caden Thorpe's goal for a Harborside goal kick. Quickly taken by the Islanders. Taya Scorey now. Scorey, one of the experienced players Bobby Taylor has added to her side for this season, joining from the Highlanders, as I mentioned, where she captained the team last year. Now Nicholas plays a nice ball out to Wilkinson. She's got time to pick a spot to either get a shot or a cross. Goes for the shot, and that's easily held by Ava Jones. Altitude struggling right now to get any offensive play going. And it's Harborside that have had the more dangerous looks on goal. Will they get another one here as Ruby Nicholas has time? She's in a foot race here with DeLong. Sends a dangerous ball across goal. Wilkinson couldn't get to it, neither could Jensen. And Altitude just clear the danger. And I thought it was going to come straight back in at them, but it is won back by Jade Mitchell, and she tries to send that one up the wing for Langston, but it's snuffed out by Harborside, and they will build out again from the back here. Scorey tries to send that up the right wing, asking a lot of Tanis McKay to try and chase that one down. McKay with the throw-in for Harborside. A long-range effort from Taylor Kinley. Had the direction, didn't have the power, and Ava Jones easily mops that one up. The 20-year-old been the busier of the two keepers, only really had one save to make in anger so far though. As here come Harborside again, McCade as well to keep that one from running out. She'll be very familiar with this pitch, having played on it for the last 2 seasons. Now a chance for Nicholas. Cuts to the outside to make room, sends another dangerous ball in, well snuffed out though by Altitude, and now they get a chance to break. And again the ball not played to where Langston was needing it, and Harborside break it up, and the ball comes out to Nicholas. She seems to be the danger woman right now for the Nanaimo side, and she cuts that back to the edge of the box, and a whiffed shot there from Shea Batty. But McKay is going to keep that one from going out and keep the pressure on here. And McKay throws herself to the ground, referee having none of it. And a little bit of hesitation at the back there from Altitude. Not punished, but the ball, no one, it's like a hot potato out there. No one is really bringing this one down. Batty now sends a dangerous one. It's fisted away, only into the path of Wilkinson, who fires home the opening goal. And Harbourside's pressure finally pays off there. The cross had come in from Shea Batty. Ava Jones punched it away to Erin Jensen. She played it inside to Jasmine Wilkinson, and Wilkinson, her second of the season for Harborside now. And it's 1-0 to the Islanders. 36 minutes gone. And it's no less than their play has deserved. Jasmine Wilkinson switched for the 2023 NCAA season to Texas A&M, where she got 10 goals and 3 assists in her 21 appearances. 10 of those starts, and 10 goals and 10 starts is a pretty impressive turnaround. Obviously 21 appearances overall. Had previously played with Arizona State Sun Devils, where she had 5 goals and 5 assists over her 3 years there, so really found her scoring form down with the Texans last year. Player that's come through the Whitecaps Rex program, spent 3 years there from 2018 to 2020. And the Nanaimo native leading her local side now in scoring in League 1BC. 2 goals on the season for Jasmine Wilkinson. And she's been a live wire out there today, as has Erin Jensen, who sends another ball in, looking to try and play in Wilkinson again. This time Altitude deal with the danger. And the ball cleared by Russo, but not too far, but Altitude do win it back. And as mentioned in the start here, that is the first goal that Harborside have scored against Altitude in League 1BC Women's Division action. And it's the first time this season that Harborside have led in a match as well. Trailed 2-0 at Burnaby in the first game before pulling a goal back, although that was a strange occasion because Sabrina Anderson injured herself towards the end of the first half. Burnaby hadn't realised just how serious the injury was and had pounced on the challenge to score. Then Erin Jensen was allowed to walk the ball into the net at the start of the second half. Last week they had to come back for a 1-0 draw against Rivers after going down to an early goal. Jasmine Wilkinson tying things up in the second half in that one. But now they have the lead in the 39th minute here at Kinsman Field. If you've just tuned in, they took the lead a couple of minutes ago, but they have had the better of the play and looked to far more likely to open the scoring. Ruby Nicholas tries to get past Smith, ends up on her bum there as Smith comes away with the ball, but Harborside get it back. And Kinley will switch this out now to the far side, and a chance here for Maya Creed, the sub that came on for Harborside captain Mary Nichols earlier in this first half. And another giveaway there by Altitude, pounced upon by Nicholas. She might have to go herself here. She's got 3 Altitude players around her. Plays it back to Scory, and she'll just switch it out now to the far side to Creed. McKay. And 2 minds whether to go to the outside or the inside, and ends up getting that taken off her foot by Jade Mitchell. And Altitude will win a free kick deep in their own half for the foul there on Trinity Chow. Some changes to the Altitude assistant coaching staff this off-season. Andrew Peat officially listed as head coach, with Fally Bass moving down to assistant, and they brought in Charlotte Ring as well as assistant coach, and big fan of Charlotte, lovely person to chat to off the pitch and such a good player on it as well. Had a very good first season with Harbourside. Did come on as a sub in the first game, but I think she's seeing herself more as a player, as a coach this year than as a player coach. But if needs must, I'm sure she will feature in some games. But they do seem to be missing her midfield creativity out there, as Alex Paul now tries to get something going. She's been very quiet in the first half. I think that might even be the first time I've said her name all first half here. As Chow tries to keep that one in, does keep it in. Battling away on the left, but the ball just taken off her feet by Shea Batty, and now Harbourside will break themselves up the right. McKay, lovely ball up the wing there for Jensen. She's got Nicholas in the middle and Wilkinson as well. Wilkinson takes a touch. She needs to play it out to Nicholas here, and she does. And Nicholas, lots of room to try and get the shot off, but she just couldn't bring it down in the bobbling turf there, and it was well closed down in the end by Alana DeLong. And it's turned behind for another Harbourside corner. Nicholas sends a swinger, but it goes behind the Altitude goal, and a wasted opportunity for the Highlanders there. Apologies, that was Kate Reynolds with the corner there, not Ruby Nichols. But now Altitude trying to bring this out. Can they find their way to goal in the last 2 minutes of the first half here? They have really not troubled Caden Thorpe at all. It's been quite an easy afternoon at the office for her. And they're certainly going to need to regroup at half time, see what Andrew Peat says to his side out there. But they definitely don't want to go in more than 1 goal down, as Jasmine Wilkinson continuing to be a thorn in the Altitude defence's side out there. Van Dort now. She's got Nicholas out wide, and Rupi Nicholas has been absolutely outstanding in the first half here for Harbourside. The UVic Vike, 31 games under her belt in the 2 seasons that she's played there. She led UVic in scoring in the 2022 season, and overall has 8 goals and 10 assists from her games with the Vikes. The Canal winger is really been the player, you've got to say, that's been the biggest danger and the biggest threat, alongside Wilkinson, for Harbourside this afternoon. Erin Jensen also probably needs a mention there. It's been a very dangerous and a lively front three And McKay tries to keep that one in. She knows it can hold up in the grass here, but it runs behind. Harborside, one of the few teams, possibly actually, now that I think about it, one of only 2 teams in League 1 BC that are playing on grass. TSS Rovers, the others at Swangard. 1 minute of time to get added on here at the end of the first half, minimum of 1 minute. Can Altitude do anything to try and get back on level times? They have not looked likely so far. And here comes Jensen. If Harborside can grab a second before the break, that was going to have them sitting pretty, but Jensen just sends that one too much on it, and it's not even out of play yet. And Nicholas does well to chase that one down. DeLong, I think, was expecting that one to run out, and it didn't. Wilkinson now, she's under the attention of DeLong, who puts her arms up because she was all over Wilkinson there, and if she'd kept one more touch on there, I could have seen Wilkinson going down the box, but in the end Wilkinson just fires that one wide, and that's probably going to be the last action of the first half here at Kinsman Field in this one. Still time for something else possibly, and Nicholas now again in the thick of the action for Harborside. Nice little play to her outside to Wilkinson. Dangerous cross in, looking for Jensen. It's bouncing about the box. I was just not clearing it there. And finally, Lauren Gray gets a big boot on that to send that up the field. And now Langston, who's really ploughed a lone furrow and has been on an island at times in the first half for Altitude, putting pressure on Thorpe, who'll just send that one into touch. And that is the last action of the first half here. 1 goal in it so far. It came in the 36th minute from Jasmine Wilkinson. Erin Jensen getting the assist on that one. It's 1-0 to Harborside, making the Islanders a long trip from Nanaimo very worthwhile so far. What does Andrew Peat have to say to his Altitude side in the second half? They need to try and get some midfield creativity, and they need to get something going in attack and get some support out there for the poor, you have to say, Langston, Kiana Langston, who's just run herself into the ground but hasn't had a lot of service. So that is it for half time. Go stick the kettle on, grab your biscuit of choice, and join us in 15 minutes for the second half of this one at Kinsman Field, North Vancouver. Welcome back to Kinsman Field, North Vancouver. It's the second half of League 1 BC Women's Division action between the visiting Harbourside FC and Altitude FC. It's the Nanaimo side that lead 1-0 Jasmine Wilkinson with the only goal of the game so far in the 36th minute. Altitude in all blue jerseys and blue shorts with the white numbers shooting from right to left in the second half. Harbourside with the white jerseys and the blue shorts shooting from left to right. We'll keep an eye out for any half-time substitutions. I'm your match commentator Michael McCall, and I'll have all the action this afternoon. It's League 1 BC Games of the Week. Altitude Harbourside, the men go at 6. Second half now underway in Women's Division action, and the first half it's been a dominant display by Harbourside, you have to say. A goal to the good. They've made most of their running. They've really looked the more likely side to actually trouble the scoreboard, and Wilkinson's goal, their just reward really for what they had put into that first half performance. One booking in the first half that went the way of Altitude's Kiana Langston. And there was an early substitution as well with Harbourside captain Mary Nichols making way with an injury, and Maya Creed coming on for her, the number 11. So we'll check to see if there are any other substitutions that were made at half time. My constant bugbear that I'm going to moan about in every broadcast, which I did last year and I did in year one, is there's no referee number boards, which would really make things a lot easier as to what was happening substitution wise. But one person that is most definitely on the pitch is Jasmine Wilkinson, as she tries to play that one through, and it almost bounces favourably there for Tanis McKay. Got a chance to catch up with the YouTube chat as well at half time, and Kelsey Fisher, Goalkeepers Union, making a good point. It wasn't Caden Thorpe that started the first game for Harbourside against Burnaby, it was Emily Robotham. Thorpe got the start last week, he gets the start this afternoon as well, and hasn't had a lot to do in the first half, it has to be said. If you want to get in touch during the broadcast, you can do that in the YouTube chat. I think I've found a way now that I can check it a little bit more regularly during the game than I was able to in the first half. And you can also get in touch on Twitter at AFTN Canada. Altitude really needed to regroup at half time and come out with a different game plan, because they just were not threatening Harbourside at all. So we'll see what Andrew Pete's side is going to come up with in the second 45 minutes, and they win an early corner right away, 3 minutes into this second half. Avery Tulloch's shot taking a deflection out there, and Tulloch is going to go over to take this corner kick on the far side. Altitude sending numbers up for this one, just 2 players back, just Erin Jensen up for Harbourside as well, as Tulloch sends a dangerous one in, and that went right across the face of goal. Thorpe wasn't able to get to it, but there was no takers at the back post, and just put out into play now by Harbourside, but that's going to just allow Chow to keep the pressure on here for the home side. Paul sends that one looping to the edge of the box, but headed clear by Van Dort. Towering, dominating presence she's been in that back line for Harbourside. First half was characterised, especially in the early going, by a number of giveaways by both teams. Harbourside definitely the first and better to settle, as that one sent in asking too much of Erin Jensen to get on the end of it, and Ava Jones will smother that danger. And Sophie Hill will try and bring this up the left now. The UBC Thunderbird player during the college season. Her attempted ball forward there, well blocked down by Shea Batty, who's really battled away out there this afternoon for Harbourside. But here's a chance now for Altitude to get something going. It's Jade Mitchell. We know she's got pace to burn. She wins her side. A corner kick here, second of the second half for Altitude. And Tulloch's going to be over to take this one again. Little bit of a wind out there. Can she use it to her advantage? Tulloch sends a high one again to the back of the box. It's headed across goal. And again, no takers in front of goal there for Altitude. They are going to keep the pressure on. Langston nearly got onto that one, but just couldn't do the bicycle kick. Tulloch now inside to Langston. She tries to turn away 3 Harbourside players around her. Tulloch floats another one into the box. And Harbourside just get a big boot on that and clear the danger. Loose one there though from Wilkinson. It's picked up by Russo. And just whiffed at there, and that's going to allow a chance now for Harbourside to get something going, but good recovery play by Altitude, and DeLong will play this back to Jones. Jade Mitchell looks to have pushed into a more advanced position, the number 20 for Altitude in this second half. That may have been where they had hoped for her to play the whole game, but she was having to track back so much to defend just with the constant Harbourside attacks in the first half. But we know she's very dangerous. She's been involved in the local scene for quite a while now. Wilkinson now for Harbourside. Another loose ball by Wilkinson, but no harm done. Harbourside can still keep that on. That's a nice lofted ball forward there for Jensen to run onto a Creed, but Jones quickly off her line to deal with that danger. Oh, loose at the back, and Wilkinson pounces on the loose ball there, and Jones forced to make another save from the Texas A&M striker. It was pretty hot conditions out there in the first half. The wind that's kind of blowing across the pitch just now, very cooling. At least up here in the commentary it's a lot cooler now for this half, so hopefully players benefiting from that as well, as Maya Smith just gets that one lost in the grass. Wilkinson will play this back. Harbourside will switch it out to the right. It's a great ball now for McKay to try and get onto, but poked away by Altitude. Chow had done well there, but Chow slides in and Shea Batty gets the better of her there, but the cross in from Batty didn't really have any purpose to it. Harbourside though, with Scorey keeping the pressure on now. McKay, nice little touch outside to Batty. That time it is a good cross in from Batty. Too close to Jones though, and she'll easily smother that one. Collecting it, looking for some movement, not finding a lot of it, and just rolling the ball out to Russo in the end. Harbourside have played an almost perfect game so far. Looked dangerous in attack. Snuffed out anything Altitude's been able to throw at them. And getting the crucial opening goal from Jasmine Wilkinson in the 36th minute. That is all that separates the two teams right now. Altitude certainly enjoying the better of the play in the possession in the second half. But a loose one there is picked up by McKay. Big boot from Sophie Hill sends that up. And Altitude are going to win themselves a free kick. Over on the far side, but midway point of the Harbourside half, and it's going to be Avery Tulloch. She's got a goal to her name already this season in Altitude's first match. They don't want to have their home opener off to a losing start. Can she provide the magic from this free kick here? Tulloch floats that one in, but that's too close to Thorpe, who'll easily collect that. Jensen chases that down to Wilkinson. She'll spray it out to the wing, and it comes back in for Jensen, just too far ahead of her, and Jones out with a big boot up the field for Altitude. Jade Mitchell now trying to show some fancy footwork, but more than a match for her there was Kate Reynolds, who springs McKay on the wing. She's forced wide by Chow. Great battling play though by McKay to get past Chow. Hits it, byline, goes for the near post shot. Cross may have been the better option for McKay there, but Jones stands tall and deals with the danger. Big boot up from Jones. It's brought down by Mitchell. She likes to knock it forward and run at defenders, but so far Harbourside's back line have not let her get a chance to do that this afternoon. Oh, and more great play there from Tanis McKay, and she sends it out the wing looking for Erin Jensen. Not fully connected on there by Sophie Hill. Didn't get the power on it to go back to Jones, but Jones dealt with the danger and wasn't getting closed down. But here comes Scorey now. That's a through ball for Batty. That was a borderline offside one. That would have been a call for the linesman there, but it's broken up anyway by Altitude, and they'll try and get something going now on the far side through Maya Smith. Lauren Gray put under pressure there by Wilkinson, who gets her foot in it and knocks it out for a throw-in. Right now, Harbourside sitting pretty, and they'll be happy enough to let Altitude have the ball as much as they want in their own half. McKay now plays that back to Creed, and Harbourside will just take the time, recycle it out to the other side. Harbourside looked good in that win on Saturday, and they've looked good today as that through ball for Batty to chase down. This time the flag does go up on Shea Batty. The Vancouver Island University Mariners alumni Shea Batty wrote herself into Harbourside history books with the first ever goal for the club in their first match against Unity, April 29th last year, and very fitting that somebody that's been very heavily connected with the Nanaimo soccer scene that got that opening goal for her hometown club. Officially from Ladysmith, but Shea Batty went to VIU, won the 2020 Female Athlete of the Year in the Nanaimo Sport Awards. So big fixture in the Nanaimo women's soccer scene, Shea Batty, and now she has a local League 1 BC team to play for, and she's done very well out there for them this afternoon as Harbourside will get a chance to launch this one into the altitude box, about 10 yards in the altitude half as the hour mark approaches here. Instead of launching it, they've gone out wide. It's a nice cut back there. Cut back superbly for Kinley. She's trying to make room for the shot. So that was Batty there that I was just talking about. Looked like a 7 briefly for a second in the sun. And the pace has certainly dipped a little bit in the last few minutes here. Maybe some tired legs out there. Both teams are warming up subs at the moment. Oh, that one just gets away from Scorey. It's pounced upon quickly as the through ball from Langston tries to play that through, but Harbourside deal with the danger and the ball comes flying out to the near side here for Harbourside throw-in just inside their own half. I'm sure some yards may be stolen to take it into the altitude half, and indeed it is there by Creed. Scorey now. And a giveaway again there by Scorey. Very uncharacteristic offer. Tulloch pokes that out to Smith. Smith has room to run here. Little step over. She's closed down very quickly though. That's something that Harbourside have done all afternoon. Whenever altitude have got into any threatening positions, they have closed them down very, very quickly. Jensen now sprung up the left wing. She could do with some support. There's 6 altitude players back and she needs some help there. Sprays it out now to Tulloch. Wilkinson. Harbourside now do have some numbers. Wilkinson touches that back out to Jensen. Lovely ball across the face of the goal there from Jensen. Just too far ahead of Shea Batty. She couldn't get on the end of that one. And she's battling away in the corner with Chow, as she has all afternoon so far. Well kept in by Mitchell. Tried to pick out Tulloch, but cut out there by Kinley, and now Harbourside will go again. McKay. Headed clear by her former teammate Gray. The ball just bouncing about dangerously on the edge of the altitude box. Jensen brings this one down. And we are going to get a couple of altitude substitutions, in fact a couple of Harbourside as well. It's going to be double substitutions for both teams. Making way for altitude is number 21 Alex Paul and number 38 Trinity Chow. We'll try and see who is coming on. Taylor Kinley, the number 7, making way for Harbourside. Ava Alexander, one of the players coming on for Harbourside, the number 8. Know her very well from her time at UBC, where I also do the commentary for, and she had a fantastic 2023 season for the Thunderbirds on their way to winning U Sports Gold. Eva Alexander got 5 goals for Harbourside last year. Don't go by the stats on the website where it says 3. She did actually get 5. But now here's a chance for altitude. It's a high one, and the idea was right from Jade Mitchell. Just got too much height in that, and it just flew over Caden Thorpe's goal.
You have 15 more minutes to buy raffle tickets. Please buy raffle tickets for some great prizes. Those with no entrance and no final raffle tickets.
Jada Dillabow also coming on for Harbourside, the number 22. We'll try and work out the altitude substitutions. Was waiting for the PA announcement, which hasn't been forthcoming. Number 19, Maya Morell, is one of the subs though for altitude. 3rd year with the North Shore side. Four seasons under her belt now with McEwen Griffins. Coming off her best year so far, Maya Morell, 8 goals and 3 assists. Battling away on the far side, a big altitude foot gets that, but there's no one to pick it up. Now there is though. As Avery Tulloch sent to the ground, and Altitude's going to get a free kick now inside the Harbourside half as the midway point of the second half approaches here. Header clear only as far as Alana DeLong, who chips that one into the box, but that will easily run through to Caden Thorpe. And in on goal, and it's a second for Harbourside, and it's Tanis McKay coming back to haunt her old side. Lovely ball through there to McKay. She ran in on it, easily one-on-one there with Ava Jones, and slots it past the Altitude keeper. And in the 68th minute, it's a 2-0 lead to the side from Nanaimo. And Altitude have all the work to do now. Didn't see who made the pass and the through ball there, but it was finished fantastically by Tanis McKay. Jane Brooks coming on now for Altitude, the number 36. There's a lot going on here at the moment. We're just trying to keep track of everything up here. I was going to say in the commentary box, actually sitting in the bleachers amongst all the fans at the moment. I think it was, just watching the stream back, I think it was actually Taya Scorey that, or Ava Alexander, that got the assist. And Scorey putting Altitude under a lot of pressure there to Maya Morell. But Altitude keep hold of the ball. Now they get a chance to bring this one out. Russo. And that is a penalty coming up now for Altitude. Tussle on the edge of the box. Wasn't sure if it was inside or out, but Avery Tulloch sent crashing to the deck there. And it's going to be a chance for Altitude to get themselves back into it, and they didn't look as if they were going to. Not sure who the allocated penalty taker is going to be for Altitude this season, Booble. Find out very shortly, and it is Avery Tulloch. I think it might actually have been Russo that was sent crashing to the ground there, but it's Tulloch stepping up to take this one against Thorpe. Tulloch strikes it well. Thorpe guesses the right way, but the power was on it. And in the 71st minute, Altitude have pulled a goal back here. Avery Tulloch, her second of the season. Pulling one back from Altitude from the spot, and that will give them some hope, and it's brought the crowd back into it here at Kinsman Field. Game all of a sudden livening up with 2 goals in a 3-minute spell. As the smoke comes out, I'm sure you can pick that up fantastically in the stream as it blows right into us in the commentary booth. You don't usually see that in the first 2 years because we were filming from the other side at the games here, but now the problem with the smoke is I can't see a single thing as to what's going on the pitch right now. Okay, it's started to clear. So I'm not sure what the camera is picking up smoke wise. I mean, it looks good, but it is not ideal. And I still don't really see through it all that well, as it's starting to clear a little bit now. It is a throw into Altitude, that I can see. Jade Mitchell forced to play that one back. She's trying to work her way through the smoke as well, so it's not ideal for the players either. Will that smoke inspire Altitude to get the equaliser? Ball poked forward. And it's Harbourside that's making the running since that goal, as they want to try and get a third and put this game to bed. Substitute Megan Linegar on for Harbourside, the number 15. And Harbourside is going to get a corner now on the far side and sending bodies up for this. Only 2 players staying back for Harbourside. Nobody up the field though for Altitude. And we're getting another pair of substitutions. Oh, and number boards this time as well. Fantastically. So going off is Maya Smith. And coming on is Christy Wong. Kiana Langston also making way. And Jada Ernst coming on for Altitude wearing the number 9 jersey. Will these changes for Andrew Pete's side make a difference? Can they come back from a 2-goal deficit like they did in their first game to snatch a point here? It hadn't looked likely, I have to say, but that penalty has certainly invigorated this Altitude side. It's Ava Alexander now firing the shot in. That one will just miss to the left. Alexander had 3 goals for UBC this past college season. Building on that fantastic 5-goal inaugural season with Harbourside, that really did her game a world of good, I've got to say. She's always been on the fringes of the UBC team, and she was again this year. But now it's a chance here. Harbourside breaking forward, and I think Ella Gignac there really had to go for the shot as opposed to try and play that one back. One of the other subs that's come on for Harbourside, the number 16. But now the goal scorer, Avery Tulloch, she's got acres of room here to pick out the perfect cross. Sends a dangerous one in the box, but Caden Thorpe, well done, quickly off her line to take that danger away. Jada Ernst looking ready to pounce there. It's end-to-end stuff now as the game has opened up in the final 15 minutes. An important head though by Alana DeLong to knock that one out. And Maya Creed with the throw-in. Plays it up the wing to Dillabau. Still Jada Dillabau. She's got 2 Altitude players around and keeping hold of the ball down in the corner. That's poked out now for another Harbourside corner here. They're exactly where they want to be in the closing minutes, deep in the Altitude half. Corner comes in, it's flicked up in the air. Danger not cleared yet by Altitude. Now they do have a chance to clear it, but there's nobody. There's no outlet for Morel to play that to, so she's going to have to do herself and sent crashing into the advertising hoarding there. She's up there, doesn't seem too much worse for wear. She used to play her youth soccer on a boys team, so she knows how to handle herself out there, Maya Morel. That ball played in Lucan for Dillabau.
Yeah.
11 minutes and change now. Can Altitude find this elusive equaliser? And Taya Scorey coming away with the ball there. Great play by Scorey, and tearing forward there was Dillabau. She plays it now to Erin Jensen. Dillabau running up as well. Will Jensen go herself? She does go herself. I think the ball inside to Dillabau was the pass that she needed to make there, but did not get the direction on that she wanted, and that just flies behind Ava Jones's goal. Ava Alexander now. Harborside happy to keep hold of the ball here, moving it along their back line side to side. Van Dort plays it out to the wing. Alexander now takes a touch and a turn. Looks, I think she was trying to play the crossfield ball there to Gignac, but instead it's broken up, and now a chance for Morel to get something. Nice little through ball there by Maya Morel, and a important foot in there from Kate Reynolds. If she had mistimed that one, I think Christy Wong was going to be going to the deck. As we get the final substitution, I think this afternoon for Altitude. Going off is the number 32, Sophie Hill. Coming on, number 5, Tess Van de Veeg. Van de Veeg, that's come on for Altitude, was with the North Shore side for their inaugural season in 2022. Missed out last year. She was actually the first female player announced by Altitude. She's had 3 seasons under her belt with UVic Vikes as well, and has captained the Vikes down in Victoria. Adding some experience to that back line. But it's not just the back line that needs to stand tall in the last 10 minutes here for Altitude. They need to get something going to try and dig out this equaliser. Harborside will take the opportunity to slow the game down as much as they can, as they keep hold of the ball up the left here. Throw in after throw in coming up. Jensen shields it well in the corner, gets it to Alexander. She'll now shield it well. Oof, what a little kick in from behind there on Alexander, who goes down in a heap. Harborside will play that one back and quickly close down there. Lauren Gray is going to get a big boot and send this one up for Maya Morel. She was never going to get in the end of that one, but the flag up for offside here, so Altitude will get a chance now to launch this forward. Morel brings it down well, but just gets away from her, and Harborside now recover it, and they'll try and keep hold of this and run the minutes down here. And the flag up for offside again. Altitude playing a very high line, and it's proved effective so far, catching Harborside off a couple of times in the last few seconds. Alana DeLong got that crossfield ball, but Altitude forced to play it back. Gray, it's a long one forward now for Ernst to try and chase down. She can't keep that one in, and Harborside will welcome that running behind, and Caden Thorpe won't be in a huge rush to get on with this one. Thorpe. Big boot trying to send it out wide, but unable to get kept in there by Megan Linegar. This is allowing Altitude to try and get something going. It's nicely flicked on there. Jade Mitchell now under pressure, forced to play this one back to DeLong, and in turn she's forced to play it back to Van de Vecht. She loops that forward, but it's easily cut out, and now Jensen's got a chance to break here. Plays it for Linegar, who sends it up the left wing, but it's only going to be Altitude that pick that one up. Still trying to familiarise myself with all the different subs are playing that's come on. There was just a wrath of them in quick succession there. But one of the first half subs there, Maya Creed, getting her big boot on that, which Lauren Gray deals with. Altitude again now. Avery Tulloch, the goal scorer for Altitude. Plays that out to Ernst on the wing. She has got time to send across into the middle. It does. It's flicked on by Jade Mitchell. Doesn't get the direction on it, and that will run behind, knocking over the photographer's stand in the process. Thankfully his camera wasn't on it. And you can see the Harbourside men's team just warming up at the back there. They will be getting underway against Altitude. 6 o'clock kickoff. Forget about the hockey, put the football on, that's all that matters. And Rebecca Van Dort using her veteran presence just to slow things down. The Kiwis been very commanding at the back for Harbourside this afternoon. So many good players defensively for Harbourside. When it gets round to giving our unofficial players of the game. For Altitude, definitely Avery Tulloch is in the frame there. She's been excellent, not just because she converted the penalty, she's done a lot of running, and anything that they were trying to get going, particularly in the first half, was coming through Avery Tulloch, as we're going to get a booking here on Ava Alexander. Just left the foot in a little bit there. I've seen a couple of crunching tackles from Ava Alexander in her time with UBC. Altitude, 2.5 minutes plus stoppage time to try and find the leveller. Or it's going to be a first win of the season for Bobby Taylor's side. Van de Vecht switches it to the right. But again, good pressing play from Harbourside, not giving Altitude time to compose himself and get any attacks going. Now they will get a chance to get something going. DeLong, but again, closed down quickly and forced back there by Dillabow. Jade Dillabow, if I am pronouncing her name right, Dillabow or Dillabow, it's one of those, I'm going with Dillabow. 20-year-old Calgarian in her second season with Harbourside. Maya Morell in her third with Altitude. She's been a difference maker in the past for this team. Can she be the player they need to step up in this one? Gray getting closed down very quick by Erin Jensen, who leaves a little foot in there on Gray on the way through. Breaking the play up. You might not like to see it, but it is a sensible thing to do for a striker. And if you get away with it without a yellow card as well, then even better. Linegar now. Wow, the tackles flying in from behind all over the place. That one not giving us a foul, and it's going to be Altitude. Into the last 30 seconds now of regulation. We'll keep an eye on the fourth official. Can't be too much time to get added on. There has been a swath of substitutions though. Oh, as Dillabau nearly slips that one through to Jensen. Scorey, nice control. Sends it up. Jensen decides not to chase it down, and understandably she has put in a hell of a shift out there for Harbourside this afternoon. If I'm looking at my players of the game, it's a tough one because there's been so many good Harbourside players that have put in a really good shift out there, and one of them is Erin Jensen, who is on the ball just now. Taking it into the corner and winning her side. I think a corner, maybe a throw-in. As I say, I haven't any actual visibility down in that corner. It is a throw-in. And Harbourside will just be happy to keep it there, but sloppy play there, and it's going to give Altitude possibly looks like it's a minimum of 3 minutes to get added on here. So Altitude still have time to do something. They haven't really threatened too much. It took a penalty for them to get on the score sheet. Shea Batty and Rebecca Van Dort have also been excellent this afternoon in Harbourside colours. I think I might give my player of the game though to Erin Jensen, who I do feel has put in a really, really tough, hard-running shift out there and has really not given the Altitude defence any time to compose himself and get any attacks going. There is still time for Altitude to get something from this one. They do need to keep hold of the ball to do that, and it's instead Harbourside as Alexander tries to play that one up to Jensen, but Altitude a big boot forward to no one in particular, and that's wasteful from Altitude, where they really need to try and keep hold of the ball to get one attack going, and can't be too many more opportunities for them now. Jensen now, she will just run this up the left wing and take this to the corner flag. Just knocks it too far ahead, and a little push in the back is going to go the way against the Harbourside forward. And this, you feel, is going to be the very last chance for Altitude to get something going. Russo, she's putting a good shift out there as well this afternoon for Altitude as Morel bundles over Ava Alexander. Oh, and Ava Alexander with a little kick out there. And she needs to watch because she's on a yellow card, and very lucky not to pick a second one up there. A bit of a petulant kick out there from the midfielder. DeLong inside to Russo. Doesn't seem to be the urgency that is needed from Altitude right now. It's time running out very fast here. They need to launch this one forward. Van de Weg does just that, looking for every time. It's falls to Jade Mitchell, who turns! And a fantastic equaliser for Altitude. Deep in stoppage time. What a turn and finish from Jade Mitchell. But full credit as well. A fantastic ball forward from Tess Van de Vecht. It fell lovely in the box to Jade Mitchell. She took a touch, she turned, she finished with aplomb into the far corner, beating Caden Thorpe. And Altitude have the dramatic late equaliser here. And is that going to earn them a point? It is going to earn them a point in the 93rd minute. Jade Mitchell's first goal as an Altitude FC player in her second season with the team. And for the second time this season, Altitude fight back from being 2 goals down to earn a battling point, this time at home to Harbourside, who are going to be devastated at giving up a 2-goal lead here. Harbourside, the far better team in the first half, they got their reward when Jasmine Wilkinson fired them ahead in the 36th minute, and it looked like they may have put the game to bed in the 68th when Tanis McKay came back to haunt her former side to make it 2-0. 3 minutes later though, I think it was Russo that had got sent tumbling in the box. Avery Tulloch steps up, fired home the penalty to make it 2-1. And as you just saw there, 3 minutes into stoppage time, Jade Mitchell, the 17-year-old, with a beautiful turn and finish. This is why we were singing her plaudits. This is why she is already committed to San Diego State University, and she earns a point for Altitude FC. It finishes here at Kinsman Field. Altitude 2, Harbourside 2. I hope you've enjoyed the action this Wednesday afternoon. Thank you for spending it with me. I've been Michael McCall. I'll be back at 6 o'clock on the L1BC YouTube channel for our second game of the week, as it's men's division action, as Altitude will battle it out again with Harbourside. See you then, and then you can't make it then. Until next time, thanks for being with us, and we'll catch you again soon.